Hello and welcome to my review for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So this show just finished releasing the Sunday before I'm recording this. And I really like this show. I wanted to talk about it. We watched it weekly, which there really is no better feeling than watching a show weekly and like talking to people about it like week by week, you know what I mean? But this is probably going to be a shorter one because I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones stuff recently. I had just finished House of the Dragon season 2. I watched this, and they're like, that's probably the most. But watching season 2 of House of the Dragon with 10 episodes, an hour and something each, and then also watching this at the same time. It feels like a lot. A lot of people to remember is more of what I mean. It's more overwhelming. There's a lot of people and connections and relations and faces to remember. But this show is super good. This show is fantastic. I'm not going to do a spoiler free because if you haven't watched House of the Dragon, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, it doesn't matter. Watch this show. Watch it. It doesn't matter. It's 6 episodes, super digestible. It's 6 episodes, and each episode, I'm not even kidding you, is about 40 minutes, give or take. Some are shorter than that. The reason I bring up the times is because, if you have ever watched Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, they're very well written shows. They're good. They're well shot. They're put together really well. The CGI on like dragons or whatever, it's super good. But an hour plus long episode is super hard to digest. Genuinely try. If you have a job or a relationship or something, watching like 2 episodes, like, okay, you get home from work, you sit down, you eat dinner, and then you watch 2 episodes of House of the Dragon, it's time for work again the next day, buddy. Yeah, go to bed. Yeah, that's so when I say how Night of the Seven Kingdoms, each episode being 30 minutes, it's like, oh, I can fit this in real quick, and it's 6 episodes. It's 6 episodes of the same amount of well-writtenness. That's not the way to say that sentence, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you like how Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon is written and shown and this world is portrayed, it's more of the same, but it's shorter. And the thing about Night of the Seven Kingdoms is it feels so much more it's so much more lighthearted. And what I mean by this is Game of Thrones, it's very heavy. That people are getting sexually assaulted, people are getting murdered, people are getting killed, and children are not safe. It doesn't matter. This show, it feels not as heavy. It doesn't feel as doom and gloom. Now, of course, there's still violence in it. Sir Duncan the Tall, the main character of the show, is he is a knight, and he performs in jousting and stuff like that, and it's brutal, it's bloody, people do die, but the relationship between Duncan and Egg, it feels more comedic and lighthearted. It doesn't feel as heavy, like you're like, oh, the next scene Egg could get kidnapped and done horrible things. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel that like emotionally heavy. I can't explain it better than that. Like, the show feels very lighthearted within the Game of Thrones universe. It feels like a very hero's journey, where Game of Thrones is a hero's journey. If you have the character Jon Snow or Rhaenyra Targaryen, you know what I mean? They are the main characters and they go through a good solid journey. But this show just feels more like easy to take in. I don't know how to explain it. The plot is, again, I'm not going to do a spoiler free. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it, you could literally probably go watch it. The entire thing, it's on HBO. You could watch the entire season, the first 1 season, in like a solid 3 hours. And I know that's like, who has 3 hours? But like, that's 3 episodes of House of the Dragon, mind you. So House of the Dragon has 4 more you know what I mean? So like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's much more digestible, but you could go watch it in 3 hours and come back to this video, and you know what I mean? You're completely caught up, about everything I'm talking about. So I'm not going to do a spoiler free, but so, basically, for anybody who hasn't seen it, which again, I just said I'm not going to do a spoiler, but it's about, a knight a hedge knight, who is basically a person who again, Game of Thrones lingo is kind of eludes me sometimes. A hedge knight is basically a person who is not like knighted by the crown, because knights are allowed to knight other people, and if you get knighted and then you leave, you could knight anybody. So basically I'm guessing they're a person that's like from a smaller town, smaller village that is knighted or whatever. And basically it's about Sir Duncan the Tall, who he is his like his father figure who knighted him, which we find out it didn't actually happen. But he basically has his set of morals. His father figure passes away, and now he is on his journey completely alone, and he wants to basically become a knight and fight for the realm, or, you know, fight for the realm. And it's super well done. He comes across a tavern where there is a like stable boy called Egg, who is not paid enough. I don't even care how much this kid is getting paid. He's not paid enough. This kid's acting is so good. He's so funny. Duncan is kind of a he's kind of fuck being around that. He's dumb. He's kind of dumb. He's not very like posh or like well treated in manners, I guess, you know, like he doesn't speak like a lot of the royals and stuff like that, like, you know, and he's kind of like aloof, I guess is a good word to put there. But so him and Egg are so perfect together. It's so funny. They're so good. They have good conversation. It's fun to watch, and I really like this show, man. And you get more of the Game of Thrones world. You get more of what makes Game of Thrones so good. The ability to bring you to this time period and make you feel like you're there with the characters. It's so good. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, basically he wants to fight for the realm, so he goes to this like event. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly what everything is called, but basically it's just like a jousting event where, you know, knights joust and fight for the royal, the king and the queen, or the kings and the princes and all that stuff. The actual king isn't there, but the king to be is there, and they're just trying to put on a good show and show that they're the strongest, and, you know, try to maybe make their way into the royal family through this event or whatever. And throughout the story, you know, Dunk gets into a little bit of trouble with the royal people, and so he has to basically go to jail, or no, he has to basically go to court, or like, you know, and he can either order a trial by 7 or just die. That's basically his options is, brother, you can fight for your life or you can just get beheaded, because he ended up like punching or putting his hands on one of the princes, or one of the prince's sons, or a prince's son, and so he demands a trial by 7. He is, you know, a lot of the people in this show, like, okay, the thing about Game of Thrones is there are some very evil characters that are there to be kind of the bad guys. Like, obviously they're evil, but like they're put there to do evil shit. A lot of characters in this show don't feel like that. Like the people who help Dunk are people that are higher up royals that don't need to really help him, but they do because they like his moral code, his moral compass, and that's what makes it very lighthearted. Is they're not just like, oh, I'm the king, off with your head, fuck you. It's not like that. They're like, look, you have 2 options. Like, we have to follow the rules, and the rules say you can order this. So, like, how good are you at fighting? Because you're gonna have to order a trial by 7. You're gonna have to do it. But yeah, he does the joust, he does the trial by 7, and he gets his ass beat. Dude, he gets his ass beat. Also in that episode, sorry, real quick to jump back, that episode where he fights one of the Targaryens, we find out that Egg is actually Targaryen, and he shaved his head because he doesn't want to look Targaryen, and he doesn't like living in the castle and whatever. And so it's the reason that Duncan and Egg bounce really well is because, or, you know, bounce back and forth between each other, is because Egg is like highborn, like he's like a royal, and he's very high manners and very well taught and well, you know, I guess educated, where Duncan is not. Even though Duncan is older, he is teaching this young boy a good set of morals, but the young boy, it's like brains versus brawn. It's basically that. It's that. And it's simple. It's so good. I can't stop praising this show. It's super good. But yeah, the Trial by Seven, very gruesome, or maybe not. Yeah, it's gruesome. There's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of violence, but it's not as it's grown men fighting each other. Where is sometimes in Game of Thrones, women or children are hurt or injured, or like things are done to them and it's really gross, but it's realistic, but it's like, fuck, I don't want to see it, but it's realistic. This show doesn't really have a lot of that, and I say a lot because I'm sure there's some that I'm forgetting, because once again, it's Game of Thrones. There's going to be some shit, but when Duncan and Egg are on screen, a lot of times it's very well done. And then the ending it was super easy. It was a good send-off. Egg basically is just like, yeah, I want to go with Duncan and I want to travel around, and they go and they're going to travel. And the next couple of seasons, in the however many years it takes for those to get filmed, they're going to be following Duncan and Egg's story, and I'm super excited for it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I love this show. I really like this show, dude. I thought it was super good, and Egg, dude, it's in that episode where, like, oh, it's so good. They need to pay that kid more. Obviously, Duncan's a good actor. Everybody in the show, and Game of Thrones always has really good acting. There's never been anybody who's dog shit acting, but Egg sells it so good. But yeah, let me know what you think. I love talking about it. So if you have a thought or opinion, something you liked or loved or didn't like or disliked, let me know. I'd love to talk about it in the comments. But thank you for watching. Oh, I'm gonna rate it. It's like a 9 out of 10. I still I love Game of Thrones so much. Some of the Game of Thrones characters like Jon Snow and Jaime Lannister are like some of my favorite characters in fiction. So I don't know if I would say that it's better than Game of Thrones, like the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, but it's very good. It's a very good show. So I'm going to say 9 out of 10 on my personal enjoyment factor. But yeah, thank you and have a good day.